Hello and welcome back to Eden Rising. I'm very glad that you're here. Um, Before we get started today, I'd like to invite you to open and prepare your energetic field with me to receive this message. I want to note that what you're about to receive has been brought through with love and intention, that it'll find you when you need it. This message is to assist you in your healing journey and serve you in pursuit of your highest good. So if you feel called to join me, I'd like you to begin by coming fully into your body, feeling the weight of it and the surface beneath you, your feet on the ground, and let your hands rest open on your lap, palms up if that feels comfortable to you. Take one slow breath in through your nose and a long exhale through your mouth. Now let's expand your energetic field with 3 conscious breaths. We're going to go in through the nose for 4 counts, then we're going to hold for 2, and out through the mouth for 6. As you take each breath, I would like you to feel your field softening and opening to receive. So our first breath, and again. And once more. Now please close your eyes gently if you haven't done so already, and let your breath settle into its natural rhythm. Imagine a pure, glowing light beginning in your heart space and growing steadily until it envelops your whole body. This light begins to take the shape of 2 luminous 3-dimensional pyramids. The pyramids are joined at their base to form a diamond. One point rests above your crown, and one rests below you, pointing down toward the earth. Where the pyramids meet in the middle, 4 more points fan outward, one in front of you, one behind you, to your left and to your right. You're held comfortably at the center of this shape. This is our octahedron of light. The octahedron begins to glow, warm gold, soft silver, and slowly the shape begins to spin gently around you. As it spins, it clears your space, seals it, and holds you completely safe within. At this time, I invite you to call in the devas we will be working with today and offer your consent to receive what comes through in this message. Please remember you're sovereign, and you may withdraw your consent at any time by simply stating, "I release myself from this space and I return to myself exactly as I am." Now, if you feel called to do so, please repeat after me, aloud or silently. I call in my highest guides and guardians to hold and protect my space as I receive this transmission. I call in the Master Crystal Devas, Chrysoel, Kel-el-m, Hemimorphite, and Nun-el, whose consciousness and healing energy is woven through these cards and this message. I invite in only that which is for my highest good, only the energy, healing, and messages my soul is ready to receive. May this space be held in love, in truth, and in the light. I am open, I am receptive, and I trust the wisdom that comes. Okay, so your field is open, your space is sanctified, the octahedron of light holds you as you receive. Let's settle in and trust what arises as we move through this message. And we do have quite a bit to unpack here today. So when I sat with the Liquid Crystal Oracle, to see which devas were looking to come through to work with us today. I actually got 4. So this is the first one here, and then we'll go through them each individually with their messages. So the first deva that we have here is Chrysoel. And this is the Master Crystal Deva for Chrysocolla, whose gift is silence. So here's the symbol, and I do encourage you to practice drawing this symbol or try drawing this symbol. And you can do that as I read the message from the guidebook. I hope you can see it. It's raining outside today where I usually film. And the lighting inside my house is a little bit dark. But we'll work with what we got. Okay. So for Chrysocolla, silence, in the Master Crystal Deva Chrysoel. Blessings in this joy-filled calling you have allowed, child of infinite love. I have come to shower you in the light of Venus. Speak not, simply shine forth in silence, as it is God's speech. I am at your left. Feel me wash through you. In my light, extend your heart and allow it to be a filter, open only to sounds touched by the ocean of spirit. Such beauty will be open to the higher levels of voice and communication, delivering the language of love which will flow from you. Be blanketed in my robe of silver light, and let our embrace open the goddess's path within self. You will come to know that often the ever-present perfection you are appears through silence. It paves the path of eternal peace, truth, and oneness. Your healing journey today. If Chrysocolla has made her way into your life today, her presence usually relates to the recognition to your feminine side and her pathways of growth. It is possible that you've developed a dependence on the masculine methods of living, and it is time for you to take a step back into yourself, trust and feel that which really resides in you. Release your attempts to control and change the external world. The goddess is on your doorstep. Will you take her hand? Real change is that which leads you. Real change is that which leads to the discovery of the divine inner self. Sit a while and recognize your greatest achievement is not in the world. It is what you sacrifice to be in the world at birth. Chrysocolla. Chrysocolla time is a time of inner truth that, if embraced, will lead to inner peace and the birth of a new divine life for us all. Battles are best fought within self if anyone is ever to be victorious and the world return to peace. And the affirmation that I encourage you to write down is, I am the power of silence. Okay. So when I sat with the card and I place my tarot cards upon it, and then I kind of invoke the Deva and ask for a message that the collective needs at this time, 3 pairs of cards came through. So the first pair was Justice reversed with the Ace of Swords. And these kind of just came out stacked. So Justice reversed is asking us to look at an imbalance. This could be like something that hasn't quite resolved yet, a truth that hasn't fully come into light. And then the Ace of Swords beside it is telling us that truth is there, it exists, but it's not ready to be spoken clearly yet. And this is so beautifully Chrysoel, because remember, its message to us is speak not, simply shine forth in silence. So this pairing is asking us to hold what we know quietly for just a little longer and let it settle before it becomes words. The second pair is the Six of Swords with the Three of Cups behind it. So the Six of Swords is that gentle passage away from struggle, moving toward calmer waters. This movement and this transition is happening quietly. It's underneath the surface, and you might not even feel it happening yet. But look what it's moving toward. The Three of Cups, which is joy, celebration, and coming together. So if you're in a season where nothing feels like it's shifting, I want you to hear this. Something is already carrying you forward, even if it's invisible right now. And what's waiting for you on the other side is joy. And then we have the third pair, which is the Ace of Cups with the Tower standing just behind it. The Tower behind the Ace of Cups tells me something has already fallen or is currently falling now. This is clearing space for something new, and what's rising up out of the collapse is the Ace of Cups, a new beginning led entirely by the heart, not by structure, not by force, but by feeling. So as we bring these three pairs together, we're being shown a truth we're still holding in silence. A quiet transition already carrying us toward joy, and an old structure falling away so the heart can lead. That's it for Chrysoel's message today. And the next card, the next Deva we'll be working with is Kel-el-m. This is green calcite. And again, you see the symbol there in the middle. I really like this symbol, this bit here. I like the way that flows. And this is the gift of letting go. So again, I encourage you to draw the symbol if you feel called to do so. And I will read from the guidebook. Okay. So we have green calcite, letting go, and the master crystal Deva is Kel-el-m. For too long you have looked back over a shoulder that was turned forward in choice. Enter now my compassionate and loving embrace. Take the hand of the Lady Master Kuan Yin and judge yourself not. The time has come to let go with joy. Only then can a new cycle be born. Let me aid you to the space of calm healing, soothing all that is in our path. I am gentle, bringing safety and reassurance. I will sail with you upon the sea of healing with the minimum of pain. I am like ice in the ocean, flowing and smooth. Feel my cooling hand lift the weight from your shoulders and help reestablish you in the world. Come, journey on the dragonfly's back. By my side, a cycle has been reborn. Regret nothing, forgive all, and be free to receive your creations through the ever-patient and accepting eye of love's eternal storm. Walk your path of realization in the starry sea of the universal breath. Your healing journey today, it's time to cut the ties and release yourself forward. Every day in life is a challenge of integration and growth. That which is not recognized is left awaiting our return to deliver its important lessons and messages. Remember, all in our world is valid and has purpose. The time has come to heal and forgive yourself into wholeness, where you can see the totality of you and your creations. Green calcite calls forward the parts left behind in moments where we feared or allowed unrealized power, love, or wisdom to direct us. From that moment forwards, your life has not been your own, tainted by the influence of another person, job, place, or circumstance. Letting go is not the loss of anything. In truth, it's the rediscovery of you and your path in this world, untainted and whole. Forgive, love, and heal. When the mind perceives the end, the spirit is just beginning. Journey on. And the affirmation is, I am free in the now. So when I asked for Kel-el-m's message today, the first card that came through was the Fool, standing on its own. The Fool is stepping forward. He's not looking down, not looking back over his shoulder, just trusting the leap. And this is exactly what Kel-el-m's message is for us. For too long, you've looked back over a shoulder that was turned forward in choice. The Fool is showing us what it looks like to simply step, to trust before we fully understand. And then 4 more cards came through. And these were all stacked like this. And we had the 8 of Cups, the 5 of Wands, the 7 of Cups reversed. I'm sorry, the 8 of Cups was reversed. 7 of Cups reversed, and then we have the 2 of Cups. I should probably put them this way. Okay. So we had the 8 of Cups on top, and the 8 of Cups is usually about walking away from something that no longer fulfills us. Reversed, it's showing a hesitation in that walking away. It's like a lingering and holding on a little longer than we may need to. This could be out of fear of what's waiting on the other side of letting go. It feels unfamiliar. Underneath her, we have the 5 of Wands. This is friction and tug of war. Maybe voices inside you arguing with each other, or the part of you still attached and the part of you that already knows better. Beneath that, we have the 7 of Cups. Normally, the 7 of Cups is about being surrounded by too many choices, too much illusion, too much fantasy, but reversed, it indicates that the fog is lifting. Confusion's clearing, and what once felt overwhelming is starting to simplify into something you can actually see clearly. And underneath it all, we have the 2 of Cups. This is connection, harmony, and a bond that's already there. This is what Kel-el-m wants us to understand. Beneath the hesitation, beneath the friction, beneath the fog, there's already wholeness waiting for us to take the first step. Letting go is not a loss, it's uncovering what was there all along. And the third diva that wanted to work with us is Hemimorphite. And this is Hemimorphite, the Egoless state. Again, I really like this symbol. Just the way that kind of flows. It's just really neat to me. Okay. So this card actually had come through for me a couple of days ago when I had sat down to do a reading, and then life got kind of in the way and I wasn't able to record it, and I had been sitting on it. But as I sat and tuned in to the cards for this message, it came forward again. And I don't take that lightly. So I really do believe that this message still needs to reach you. So I had already pulled this message, including the tarot. So I'm going to read that for you now, beginning with the guidebook, like always, and then we'll get into the message. It is quite layered. So we have Hemimorphite, the egoless state, and the master crystal deva is Nun-el. Greetings, child of the endless light. Thank you for reaching within my frequency. Feel my gentle breath upon you. Now let me open you to the joy of the Creator, a vision reserved for those who hold the key to the egoless state. Let us now hold and activate the mirror of self. I offer you freedom through self-respect and self-love on all levels. Search deep within your heart to the glistening blue pools of loving expression realized. Ignite the white rose and purify. Allow the heart to become a filter for all that passes from you, every breath unconditional and all-loving. We have opened your path of truth. Through me, now see your world and all within it. Know you are its creator. Your happiness is but a reflection of this fact. Continue your journey. Go deeply inward now, as self-realization can lead you to your highest imagined potential. Let the world no longer cast a shadow through your eyes. By choice, you are free. On your healing journey today, if Hemimorphite has come to you today, it's a friendly reminder that we are all responsible for our actions. Take a good look at what's happening in life and make sure that you are retaining your personal power and acting from an egoless state. All truthful acts should harm none, benefit all, and stream directly from love in the name of unity. Hemimorphite can also present when there is a need to embrace an important role from another lifetime, or when a loved one has recently passed and wishes to communicate with you. Make sure also that you are not being taken advantage of. This stone can appear to let you know you need to recover a part of yourself from someone else's creation. The affirmation is, I walk the path of truth to freedom. Okay. So when I had asked Hemimorphite to guide the cards toward whatever the collective most needed to hear, the reading opened with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is the sleepless nights. It's the anxiety, the mind circling the same fear over and over. And I want to say this clearly, if that's where you've been living lately, you're not imagining it and you're definitely not alone in it. Right behind that is the Page of Wands. This is a spark, a young, curious messenger, something new trying to reach you, which we've kind of seen over here with our other devas. Together, these two tell us that the anxiety is real, but it isn't the end of the story. Rather, it's more of like a doorway, and the page is what's trying to walk through. So at the center, we have the Lovers. And I'm sorry, this actually was reversed. So we have the Lovers reversed. And I don't read this as romance here, rather as the loss of alignment. And this is a choice maybe made from fear instead of truth. Then we have the King of Swords reversed. This is cold authority, a voice of judgment ruling through control instead of clarity. This is often turned inward as the harshest inner critic. The old ruler who decided long ago what was correct, what was safe, and has been quietly governing ever since. In response to him, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a dutiful, careful, it's a life steady and routine built to satisfy that inner judge. So it's movement, but without the aliveness. And then we arrive at the Eight of Pentacles. And this is reversed. So this is skill without soul. Mastery that maybe has become mechanical instead of meaningful. It's competent, capable, and quietly empty. So I'd like to take that back to the Lovers reversed to say now we kind of understand this. After enough time ruled by judgment, shaped by duty, and worn down into joyless mastery, of course we drift from the path that's aligned for us to the safe one. This isn't a moral failing. It's simply what happens when the ego runs the show for too long. And yet, the Page of Wands still reaches us. Even after all that armor, something young and alive is knocking. And that's what the Nine of Swords appears, or that's why I think the Nine of Swords appears where it does. Change always announces itself as fear before it reveals itself as freedom. So these sleepless nights so many of us are having right now may simply be the sound of the old structure beginning to crack. So here's Hemimorphite's message for the collective. The anxiety we're carrying isn't random. It's not permanent. It's just friction of an old inner ruler finally loosening its grip. The invitation isn't to fight the anxiety, but to stop identifying with the judge inside us. This is the egoless state Hemimorphite offers. Not the absence of self, but rather the release of that harsh inner authority that mistook control for safety. When we set that old ruler down, even for a moment, the page spark has room to move again. Our choices can realign, our routines can start to feel alive instead of mechanical. You're not broken for feeling anxious. You may simply be standing at a threshold where an old, tired authority is finally being asked to step aside. And finally, we come to the last deva that was calling to work with us today. And this is Nun-el. This is Sapphire, whose spiritual gift is, or whose gift is spiritual truth. This card is a little bit dark, so I hope you can see that symbol there. Just find it. Okay. So we have Sapphire, spiritual truth, and the Master Crystal Deva, Nun-el. See the sun dance on the ocean. Allow my presence to descend from the blue sky above. Now feel my open arms hold you. All will be replaced by your own solar angelic essence, blinding in its glory, a vision of truth realized. Listen to the solar angels speak. It is the unencumbered you in all your glory. Trust in my blue ray embrace, and enter truth, peace, and calm. It is the total of my world. I know no different. I am the blue light of the evening sky. Dance with me, and we will deepen the faith in your spirit. Arise from my liquid light embrace, lift like a wave on the ocean, and seek the shore of eternity to release, in a blinding blue flash, the ultimate truth of unity, peace, and love for all. On your healing journey today, be sure you're being truthful with yourself and others. Love as thought is truth. Truth at the level of spirit is unconditional love, the very presence of the infinite self. Remember always that the measure of truth starts within the self. If you are right within, you will be right in the world. Sapphire's presence in your life today may also mean that it's time to convert the knowledge you have worked so hard to achieve into wisdom. This conversion only takes place through action defined by the spirit in the egoless state. Go inward and listen, then act accordingly. Sapphire also appears when one is being called to the ocean. It may be time for the cleansing light only it can offer. In the affirmation, I encourage you to write down, in truth, I am free. So as I called on Nun-el, 4 cards came through, and these were layered together as one message. At the surface, just like with Hemimorphite, we had the 9 of Swords. So this is anguish, the sleepless mind, circling the same fear. And like I said, this is the very card that opened with Hemimorphite's message. So Nun-el is showing us the same anxiety, still sitting right on the surface and still asking to be felt. Then next, we have the 10 of Swords. This is not a decline, but an ending, a full stop, rock bottom, but also completion. Something has finished its cycle entirely. There's nothing left to salvage from that old chapter, and nothing needs to be salvaged. Next, we have the 4 of Swords. This is a time for rest, retreat, recovery. The mind and body pulling back from the battlefield to heal in stillness. This card is a direct instruction. Go inward. And then at the root, holding everything up, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So this can indicate resistance, gripping, or trying to control a cycle that was never meant to be controlled, but rather only moved through. And this is the root of the whole reading. Underneath the anguish, underneath the ending, underneath the retreat is a battle with the wheel itself. An old part of us is trying to steer something spirit was always going to turn on its own. And that grip is exactly what's kept the ending feeling like collapse instead of relief. It's exactly what kept the mind circling. The 4 of Swords sits at the center as the way through. Stop fighting the wheel, retreat, rest, listen, instead of forcing an outcome. And this is exactly Nun-el's teaching for us today. In her guidebook, in the guidebook, it says that turning knowledge into wisdom only happens through action defined by spirit in the egoless state. Go inward and listen, which is what Chrysoel's message of silence is, and then act accordingly. So now I'd like to just bring all 4 of these together. So Chrysoel asked us to be silent, to let our hearts become a filter for what's true instead of rushing to speak or act. Kel-el-m asked us to let go, to release the grip on old cycles so a new one could finally be born. Hemimorphite showed us that anxiety that so many of us are carrying isn't random. It's the sound of an old, harsh inner ruler finally starting to loosen its hold as we step into the egoless state. And then we have Nun-el bringing us the same teaching but from a different door. Go inward, listen, then act. Not from the ego's grip, but from spirit. So we have 4 devas, 4 different stones, and one kind of single instruction spoken 4 different ways. Go quiet, listen, let go, and trust that the cycle will complete. This is the arc the collective is being shown today. Whatever you've been white knuckling, an old identity, an old relationship to yourself, an old fear, an old version of your life, the invitation across all 4 of these readings is kind of the same. Release your hand from the wheel, not because you're giving up, but because underneath the grip, wholeness has been waiting for you this whole time. You're not being asked to fix yourself today. You're being asked to soften and to let go of the wheel, to trust that it's spinning in your favor. So before we close, I'd like you to take one deep breath for me, and let's let that fill us up. And as you exhale, just let whatever resonated in today's message settle in. You don't need to do anything with this information right now. Let's just let ourselves acknowledge what we learned and what landed. Let's take one more breath if we need it. Start to feel your feet or wherever you're seated connected to the ground beneath you. You're safe and supported, and whatever part of this message is yours to carry forward, please trust that it will stay with you exactly as long as you need it to. At this time, I invite you to close our space together if you'd like to do so. So please repeat after me out loud or in your mind. I give thanks to Chrysoel, Kel-el-m, Hemimorphite, and Nun-el. Thank you for the healing, thank you for the wisdom, and thank you for the love carried through this transmission. I give thanks to all my guides and guardians for holding my field throughout this receiving. And above all, I give thanks to the divine source creator. I call back all of my energy, cleansed, renewed, and fully my own. I close my energetic field with love, with gratitude, and with grace. I take from this message only that which serves my highest good, and I release the rest with love. And so it is. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me today. And until next time, be well, be held, and trust the path that's unfolding for you.